Assalamu alaikum students. In today's lecture we will study about DML, data manipulation language, which is a part of SQL, structured query language. DML is used to manipulate data stored in a database. Actually, with the help of DML commands, we can insert data, we can delete data, update data, and perform similar operations on the database. So far we have studied SQL commands, and also we studied DQL, data query language, and today we will study the data manipulation language. The main objectives of this lecture are to understand the commands used for data manipulation in a database, and these commands can be update, delete, merge, insert, call, etc. And also during the update and delete queries we will study that how can we disable save, update and save, delete, and what is the purpose of save, update and save, delete in our DBMS. We have various queries. Now in contents we have all these queries. First we will have introduction of DML, the data manipulation language. Then we will study about insert query. We will check the syntax and possibilities for insert query, and then also we will do some examples in MySQL workbench. Update query is used to update records stored in a table. We will practice update query. Then we have deletion of records in tables. Merge query is also used to combine two or more tables. Call is used to execute a stored procedure or function already present in the database. Then we have explain plan. We will look into this topic, and also log table will be practiced and studied in today's lecture. So we are starting with introduction. DML is short for data manipulation language, which deals with the data manipulation. Actually we have some data in the database, so when we do some operations on database, particularly for modifying that data, so for that purpose we must use DML queries. So includes most common SQL statements such as insert, update, delete, etc., and it is used to store, modify, retrieve, delete and update data in the database. Some books also include select statement in the DML instead of DQL. We have already studied these statements under DQL in our previous lecture. So we are moving forward. Here we have select. As I told you that this select can be under DML or can be under DQL. So select is used for retrieval of data from the database. Then insert, definitely insert is used to add some data into a table, and update is used to modify the existing data in a table. Delete for the deletion of records in database tables. Merge is used to update and insert or combine data from multiple tables. Call is used to execute or call a PL/SQL or JavaScript program. Usually in most of the cases we call stored procedures or transactions. Then we have explain plan. Explain plan is used for the interpretation of the data access path. Actually we will get some information about tables and queries by using this explain keyword. The last thing is log table. Log table is actually used for concurrency. For example, we have multiple users and one user wants a table to be logged for him, so for that purpose log queries are used. The first one is insert. Insert is used for adding new data into the database. This is the format for insert query. First we need to type insert into, these two are keywords, then the table name, and then the columns lying inside the table. Suppose we have 5 columns in a table, so we can mention their names here in the list. Now it's up to our requirement that how many columns do we type here. Like, we may omit a column, we can type 4 columns instead of 5 columns in this list under these 2 parentheses. Then we must type the values after values keyword. So if I type 4 column names in these 2 parentheses, then I must provide 4 values for these 4 columns. So the first value would be for the first column, second value would be for the second column, and so on. The next style is if we insert data into a database table, when we consider all the attributes in a table. So in that case, there is no need to mention the names of attributes. Like in previous example, here we typed the column names. So if there are 5 columns and we are inserting data into all these 5 columns, and so there is no need to type the names of these columns. We can type all these 5 names, but it is better to shrink the query by avoiding this thing, because we are using all the columns, so no need to type their. Suppose we need to enter multiple rows in a single table while using a single insert statement. So for that purpose, we must give the sets of values. Now here in this statement, we have some sets, like the first set is starting from here and ending till this one, second set starting from here till here, and then third set is from here till here. So what we do actually, we use the same insert statement, and we may give the set of attributes just after the table name. Suppose we have 5 attributes and we need the data to be inserted into 3 attributes. So for that purpose, we must type the names of those 3 attributes here, separated by commas. And after that, we must use, definitely we use the values keyword, and after values we must type the sets of all possible rows for these 3 attributes in this table. So here we have value 1, value 2, and value 3 for the 3 attributes. These can be more than 3 attributes, and then again second row starting from here ending till this one. So in this way we can insert multiple rows with a single statement. Here in the schemas, we have a database named as student, so we will use this database for our examples. So I'm selecting this database by typing use student, so this database will be selected. Now let's check what we have in the basic info table. So select static from basic info, executed, control enter. So we have some result in this table. Now I need to insert data into this basic info. So for that purpose, I must type insert into, then the table name is basic info. Now here I have multiple options. So the first one is to write the attribute names here. So the first attribute is reg, then name and fname, name and fname. Now after that we must type values, so we must specify the values for these 3 attributes. So the first one is registration. Here I type cs, let's say 1111, and name is, let's say, abcd, and fname is, let's say, xyz. It should be in single quotes because these are strings. So now if I execute this statement, this will add cs 1111 and these 2 values in the table at the bottom. Here we will get these values. So execute it. This has been executed. Now let's check the contents of table by using the select statement. Here we will have these values at the bottom of the table. Now, second method is to not type the attribute names. So here I don't need to type the names of these attributes. So here I'm typing only basic info, and just after basic info I'm typing here values, and let's say I give CS2222, then ASTF, so input STF, and here PQR. So these three values will be inserted into basic info, and here we are not mentioning the attributes. So the query has been executed. Now let's check the contents by using select statement, control enter. We got CS2222 here. Now I need to insert data into two attributes only. So for that purpose I can mention those two attributes. So I'm mentioning two attributes here, and here let's say we have 3333 comma, and this must be something like QWER, and we don't need the father name here. Now execute it. Now here we have only two attributes. Control enter. This has been executed, and now again select statement for viewing the contents of this table. So here we got CS3333, and the last attribute's value is null here because we have not supplied this value. Now we need multiple rows in a single statement. So here I must type this thing, and this is an insert statement, and here we have a single row for these three attributes. Now I'm giving multiple rows, so for that purpose I must, let's say this one is 2, and this one is, let's say, like this, and here we have a. So I'm giving multiple rows in a single statement, so I can easily do it by typing like this. So here we have a single insert statement, and it has 3 rows to be inserted in these 3 attributes. Let me change the values. Now B, C, and here we have D. Similarly, change these values to B, C, and D. Now with this statement we will insert CS 1112 and 1314 and 15. Now execute it. This has been executed by pressing Ctrl Enter. Now select static from table name is basic info, execute it, Ctrl Enter. We will have these values. These are present here: 12, 13, 14, 15, and these were due to, I think, previous queries. So here we have these values in the table present due to this insert statement, and we inserted multiple rows in a single state. We can insert data from another table also, like here we have a select query. So this select query will give us some data from table 1 having a condition. So this selected data can be inserted into table 2 by using this entire query having insert into clause. So similarly, if there's a table and we need to copy the entire data or the entire attributes from that table into another table, so for that purpose we must use insert query, and inside insert we must type another class of select statement. So here we will have select inside insert, and this select will select all the attributes from table 1, and if you need all the data, so there is no need of where clause, and if you need a particular data according to a condition, so for that purpose we must use where. Here in this student database we have another table, that is std info. In std info we have 3 attributes: id, sname, and ifname. Previously we worked in basic info. In basic info also there were 3 attributes: registration, name, and ifname. Now let's check what we have in basic info. We have some records in basic info. Also let's check std info. There's nothing in the std info, so I need to copy some data from basic info into student info. So I may need a where clause if I need to filter out that data, and also I can copy the whole data from basic info into std info. First, check into basic info. Here we have under name we have some values, so I need the names starting with A. So for that purpose select static from basic info, and where name like means that name is somehow similar, so I'm using name like and starting with A, and after A we have anything. So this will give us some rows in which the values of name would be starting from A. Execute it. So here we have some values for this select query. Now I'm gonna use this select query in insert query for adding data into std info. So this data, this filtered data will be inserted into std info. If we type here insert into std info, so our query would be like insert into std info and then select static from basic info where name like %. So these values will be inserted into std info, this entire query. This is now a single query. Control enter. So this query has been executed. Now look into the std info. These results are now present in the std info. We can also specify columns here, like if I type id and sname here and then type reg and name here and provide a condition, so we will get the values from basic info for only 2 attributes, and those values will be inserted in the id and sname under std info table.